And we are live, back with another rendition of the Prove Me Wrong podcast in the Los's Corner Store. I'm your host, Carlos Ojeda. Today with me on the Zoom machine is my boy Mike, everybody's favorite co-host. He's my favorite co-host for sure, because out of all my friends, he's the only one
Yep.
that actually knows what he's talking about.
To an extent, at least. Maybe
Most,
not to your level, but I know a little bit.
most of the time. Hey, man, you be catching me by surprise sometimes, right? Even going live. All right, so today, episode 60, we're going to be recapping UFC 276, Adesanya versus Cannonier. We had some great fights some great finishes to start, some great fights to start, and then it just ended up being complete and utter domination towards the end of the card. But let's start with the early prelims. We're going to talk about Julija Storlyarenko and her first round armbar over Jessica Rose Clark. She completely dislocated that arm. I don't know if it's broken. I don't know what happened, but I know with my two eyes, I definitely saw some shit bend backwards and go somewhere that it wasn't supposed to go.
Hey, man, that's what happens when you get the fastest submission, like in women's history.
Nah, Ronda still owns that. Ronda got a 14-second armbar in a fight, but
Damn.
that is the
Or
second.
so was it for her division then? Was it for her division?
Yeah, it's the fastest in her division. It was a armbar in 42 seconds. It was an awesome way to start the night. Like, it's kind of one of those fights. Like, I was looking into the crowd behind like the fighters, and I was like, wow, there's nobody here. And then like the people who were there were treated to such an awesome finish. And what a way to start the fight, or to start the night. After that, we had Macy Barber, unanimous decision over Jessica I. Jessica I retires. Kind of makes me feel bad about what we said about her a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
But I am gonna say she a legend, but I am gonna say she a dog. She is a dog. And
And it's not like what we said was wrong. Seems like she might have felt it. Maybe she listened.
hey, bro,
Maybe she knows.
maybe she. I was just worried for her health. Like, really, like I wanted her to get out while she was still healthy. I just care about her so much as a person. Macy did what she does. She overwhelmed in the clinch. She was beating her to the punch during every exchange. Macy says she's chugging towards a title shot. If she keeps winning over like progressively harder opponents, I give her 4 more fights. She'll be on a 6-fight winning streak. She won't be ready, but she'll be as about well prepared as she could be to fight Valentino Shevchenko.
I don't think anyone's ready for that. I don't think you could ever be fully prepared.
Nobody's ready for that. And when we do our top 10 pound for pound, y'all, yeah, hey, let's not talk about it right now. But yeah, what a great fight. Macy was able to outstrike her by a wide margin. I absolutely love the performance. And she said, "This is the end of my contract." I don't really know. To me, when a person does that at the end of a fight, like not really in the press conference, but in front of the world on the pay-per-view, it's kind of more of a like, now they gotta pay me. Like, now Bellator is gonna come calling. Now the PFL is gonna come calling. I won championship calling. So it's like when you do that, I feel like it's like, now pay me. And if she wants to get to the title as fast as possible, which I feel like is what she's doing, then that's kind of what it has to be. Like, she's gonna get bumped up in competition, and hopefully she can make some shit shake, because I like her. I like her a lot. I like the way she fights. Can't even lie. All right. And after that was Andre Muniz, unanimous decision over Uriah Hall. Andre was kind of finding success on the feet, even though he's a jiu-jitsu guy and Uriah's a striker. But I think he was finding success just because Uriah was so scared of getting taken down. Not necessarily scared, but he was so cautious and aware of the fact that if he gets taken down, he's probably not going to get up. So I don't feel like he was letting his offense go as much in this fight.
It's kind of like the Oliveira effect. You just get scared.
Yeah, like, bro.
People fight him. He goes down. You don't get on top of him.
Real shit. I don't want to do anything because I'm scared. I'm terrified, petrified. All right. Andre got takedowns and was searching for the submissions. I feel like he could have grabbed the neck at some point a couple times, but he was really working for that arm. He kind of had his feet open when he was on the back, and he kind of allowing Uriah to move and be able to shift. He was really searching for the arm. Before the fight, he did say he wanted to take Uriah's arm back to Brazil. No submission happened, but he definitely dominated.
It's a crazy statement. Absolutely wild statement.
Hey, man. I just report what happens, man. All right, and in the last fight of the early prelims, we had Dricus du Plessis with a unanimous decision over Brad Tavares. These guys came to fight. They went to absolute war.
Throwing.
Jesus Christ. Dricus was just jumping into punches and just Brad's nose was completely smashed into his face. There's blood everywhere. Those are the fights where you're like, wow, these guys have been tired for 13 minutes. And they don't care.
Oh, and you get especially what Duplessis, how do you say his name?
Dricus du Plessis.
Duplessis, especially towards the end of that last round, that dude, he was not. It looked like every ounce of energy he had was just getting thrown. Fuck, trying to bang with the dude with everything he had. This shit was crazy.
I loved it. I loved every second of that fight. Like I was watching it with Dad, and Dad was jumping up and down off the couch like, "What the fuck? What's going on?"
Don't condone it, but I had a passenger in the passenger seat. He was holding the phone, and I was trying to listen in, and unfortunately, there were so many things happening that I had a tendency to look over.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to watch some fights. You feel me? And this is an example. This undercard right here. I know it's International Fight Week. I know they stacked it. But this is a prime example of why you don't skip the prelims. If you just love fights, good fights, watch the Fight Pass prelims. If you can, watch the prelims. Don't always just wait for the main card to start at 8 or 10. Get the knowledge of the fights, because not only are you gaining knowledge of the fights just by sitting there and watching, you're watching two dudes or two ladies absolutely beat the shit out of each other more times than not, which is really what the fan, the average cash. Damn, that's a good podcast name. Oh my God, the average cash. That's good. I hope somebody takes that shit and copyrights it.
But think about it. You got the people that are trying to climb themselves up. You know, they got to build themselves up. They don't have the money yet. They don't got all this stuff.
They need the
top already have. Not saying that like people like Volkanovski aren't up here dogging it up, you know, working their asses off. But sometimes people at the top, they don't need to put on that kind of performance like the people that are trying to make a name for themselves. Therefore, watch the prelims, bro. They're always good. I can't remember the last time I've watched a bad set of prelims.
I agree with everything you said, but I need to I need to Google this real quick because I don't want to misquote. I want to get the name right.
Okay.
Marvin Hagler, one of the greatest boxers of all time, said it's hard to get out of bed when you're sleeping in silk pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Connor effect.
Yep.
That's
the red panty nights, bro. You have one too many of those, and all of a sudden,
too many red panty nights, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But yeah, it's the people who aren't making bread, they getting out of bed because they sleeping on Walmart sheets. Like they train every day because they ain't got a.
They jump out of bed.
They can't even take naps, man. It's uncomfortable. All right,
they got the box spring poking through.
I'm sorry?
I said they got the box spring poking through. Pushing them out of bed.
Talk about that, bro. I got PTSD. But all right, on to the prelims. Starts off with a banger. Jim Miller, second round guillotine over Donald Cerrone. Jim is now on a 4-fight win streak. And do you want to go ahead and just talk about the rest of this?
Yeah. I mean, well, you see it go in. Cerrone, I was hoping Cerrone would get that win. That was I believe my number one pick.
I think it was your second, but maybe.
No, it was my number one. Robbie Lawler was my number two. So 1 and 2 picks. They were definitely followed the heart. I'd make them again in a heartbeat. Donald Cerrone. As soon as that guillotine got sunk, you can kind of see it. It was in. That thing was so instantaneously sunk in so deep. It was tough. And then after the fact, you see him take his gloves off, and it's like, yep. And then he says he just doesn't have the heart for it anymore. He just doesn't want to do it, man.
He just doesn't love it anymore.
It is what it is. It is what it is. He's still going to be hopefully the man becomes a movie star. I'd love to see it.
I would look, bro, if he's the next Bruce Lee, I'd be in a movie theater every week. Bro, keep making movies. I don't even care. Yep. You can dub it. I know you know English, but if it doesn't match, I'll still watch that shit. Oh my God. But now Jim Miller has the record for the most wins in UFC history. Donald Cerrone retires after his 50th fight. Two legends of the sport. Jim Miller might fuck around and get a title shot if he keeps his shit up. I don't know what he's got going on. I don't know what they doing in New Jersey, but Jim Miller on some shit. All right, next fight. Ian Gary versus Gabe Green. Ian Gary is a dog. That man is legit. He pretty much looked, he got hit the one time where you could see it on his face, like in his face and his body language, like, oh shit. But other than that, there was no point in that 15 minutes, or I guess 14 minutes and 50 seconds, that he was in trouble at all. He was picking him apart from the outside. He was doing everything he wanted. And the impressive thing is because I've watched Gabe Green's last 3 fights before this, and Gabe Green has progressively gotten better. So I knew exactly what I was going to get in this fight. Gabe Green was going to go out there and just try to punch him in the face as hard as he can. And he did that sometimes, but Ian Gary was absolutely just on another level. Gabe Green's going to continue to get better. He's going to make his money in the UFC. But Ian Gary has a shot to possibly become the second-born Irish champion. I'll be honest. He's at 170. It's a hard weight class to do that in. But he's got all the tools, and he just keeps getting better fight after fight.
Something, I mean, you know, he's kind of got like a little bit, I mean, obviously not to this extent because Cyril Gane's huge, but he's a pretty big dude, and he's just seems like he moves better than whoever's in the octagon. It just seems like he moves better. And that's a real, I don't know, you like to see that. You like to see that. That means a lot of the times. And especially with the Irish fighters, we've noticed.
Hey,
they can jumping back and forth, just fucking people up.
You can't hit what's not there.
Feel like a butterfly sting like a bee. Hands can't hit what the eyes can't see.
Peekaboo. All right. Next fight up, Jaylen Turner with the first round guillotine over Brad Rydell. Holy shit. Jaylen Turner, in my opinion, stole the whole show. I was thinking about Jaylen Turner's submission all fucking night. I could not believe what I had seen with my face. They call him the tarantula. He always does this shit. He just climbs people. He gets on top of them, and he always finds a submission. He's very, very strong in those clinch positions. He's very long. And this was just beautiful. 40 seconds into the first round to catch a guy like Brad Rydell with a guillotine is just very impressive. And I think Jaylen Turner is going to capitalize on this and just he's going to get, like, this was his breakout fight. Like, this was his, you win this fight, you're going to start fighting the guys who make you money at 155.
And don't get it twisted. And even within that 40 seconds, he even pieced him up a little bit too.
Bro, he was landing. Landing.
So he just had him just for 40 seconds. Was just beating his man.
That was like, he made it look easy on a guy that you don't really expect anybody to make look easy. And Jaylen Turner did it, no problem. Now Brad is 0-2 in his last 2 fights, and he's been finished both times. So I'm looking forward to Brad's next fight because I feel like that dog in him that I know is there is going to come back out because I think anybody that's on a 2-fight losing streak should be worried for their job.
Yep.
Anybody.
Yep.
Unless you're Conor McGregor. Like, if you're in a fight and you lose that fight, it's your 3rd straight loss, you're probably going to get cut. So if you have 2 straight losses, I feel like that should ignite a fire under your ass like none other. Brad is a very competent, good fighter. I love watching Brad fight. Trains at a great gym. He just keeps getting caught with stupid shit. And I don't know. I love the guy. I don't want to see him cut for being not as good as what I think he is. That upsets me.
Just for lacking a little bit of technicality sometimes, probably.
All right. I hate that. That made me sad a little bit. All right, main card. Great main card. We had Pedro Munoz versus Sean O'Malley, ending in no contest.
Yep.
Ending in a no contest. An eye poke ends the fight. Looking back at the replay, it didn't look like shit.
It was
it looked
like he
got him on the lid and then pushed down on the lid. But like,
that's what it did look like. But also the reason why, all right, so you see everyone, you got both sides of it. You got either the dude couldn't open his eye, or Pedro begging for a way out of that fight.
Yo, he was like, he did it twice.
You could see it both ways. Or at least I could definitely see it both ways. The eye poke did at first when I first saw it. I was like, damn, he must have really got him. Then on the replay, I was like, it looked like he definitely got his eyelid. But maybe a nail slips in there. Scratches up his eye a little bit. I don't know. I guess maybe we'll find out if he actually has an eye injury or not.
He does. He has a scratched cornea.
Well, then yeah, that usually might just keep your eye closed. That just happens.
Yeah. And
so I guess forget everything I just said. I didn't realize this. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and take his. I think a scratched cornea is enough. Probably gonna keep your eye shut like that. It's gonna. Michael Bisping fouled one eye. Never mind. This dude won a championship on one eye.
They are probably gonna run his back.
Huh?
They're probably gonna run it back.
Maybe.
Sean said that he was looking for a way out, and then after it came out that he has a scratched cornea, he went to Twitter and said that according to the Sugar State Athletic Commission, it's ruled a W for Sean O'Malley. So I think he's just gonna take this as a moral W, because honestly, the leg kicks do a lot, but you could tell he was kind of beating Pedro to the punch. Pedro was really swinging at air a lot. And
I think Pedro had one head strike the whole fight. He only touched his face once.
They're probably gonna run that fight back because that's a good high level dude. Carlos. Oh my god.
Hey, sexy.
Hi.
Yo, I'm filming. Can you put your shirt on?
Hey, do you want Brussels sprouts with carrots?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too, boy.
I guess I'm having Brussels sprouts with carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Love vegetables. Eat your veggies, kids. I don't know what I was talking about. I just saw my dad's nipples.
We were talking about them running it back, maybe. I don't know. I don't think Sean O'Malley would want to run it back.
I don't think they either want to run it back, but I feel like the UFC is going to be like, bro, nobody else wants to fight you in the top 10 because you're not in the top 10. This is your only shot.
Well, look, whoever's going to fight Sean O'Malley is going to get more recognition because he fights Sean O'Malley. Everyone's going to be watching that. So I don't see why someone wouldn't want to fight Sean O'Malley. And I feel like a lot of the fighters in his division probably think they could whip him up. Because
we're talking about guys in the top 5. We're talking about Aljo, Piotr. We're talking about Corey.
True.
We're talking about TJ.
True.
We're talking about Jose. Of course, those guys who were either world champions, former world champions, or championship contenders, of course they think they could beat this guy who's always a flashy kid with a bunch of rainbow shit going on who's not right. Of course they think that. But the guys from 6 to 15 do not want to fight this man because there's nothing in it for them.
True.
They're going to get paid.
All right, so follow-up question. Is there any chance you think Sean O'Malley ends up getting ranked from this?
I think he was ranked 13.
Oh, yeah, he was ranked 13. Yeah, I forgot.
Does he move into the top 10? No. Probably just stays at 13.
Well, then I guess if what you said turns out to be true and the UFC wants to set something up with Sean O'Malley, then they got to bump up the top 10.
Then
someone can say they got to bump him up to the top 10, so at least someone in the top 10 could be like, at least I'm fighting another top 10 dude. And then at that point, it's worth it for him. You got that on your resume. I beat a top 10 fighter. That's a good check mark.
That is a good check mark. Like I said, I think they're gonna run it back. Am I gonna be surprised if they don't run it back? No, but do I think they're gonna run it back? Yeah, I do. I think the UFC already was slim on options. This was probably the last one. This was the one that got made, and they're back to square one. There's no result, so we're back to no options again, in my opinion. But yeah. All right, next fight up on the card. Bryan Barberena.
We could all right. So I'm pretty sure it was the Sean Strickland fight, right?
Do you want me to just skip it and do it when you get off the?
Okay, so look, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this Robbie Lawler fight, right? Let me just start this off. Robbie Lawler came out in this fight looking so good. This dude, I mean, head movement on point. He was catching everything. And when he started off the fight swinging, he was doing great. And then he started falling in love with his defense. He started realizing, he's like, oh, I'm catching everything. I'm parrying everything. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's great and all, but you're 40 years old. You're 40 years old and you've got a dude with bombs in his hands you're just letting him swing on you. At some point, it's going to be bad. And I knew it. I could just sense it because this is what he keeps doing. This is how Robbie Lawler keeps fighting his fights. He starts off looking so great. He'll hurt them in some way, shape, or form. And then he'll just think that he's like, I don't know, Sugar Ray Leonard, and he's just going to move out of the way of everything. And it's like, nah, dog. That's just not how you fight. It's never been how you fight. You're going to eat him, but you can't anymore. You're too old, man. You can't eat him like you used to.
All right,
and it hurts my heart.
All right, I agree with everything you said. But to add a little bit of perspective, you have to think Robbie Lawler is 40 years old. He's been fighting for 21 years. For a good 17 of those, there was no defense.
No, that's exactly my point. No, that's exactly my point.
So now I feel like he's like, oh, shit, I know my chin can't take this shit anymore. So I need to be a more defensive fighter and pick my shots. And I think that Robbie is just not – he doesn't have the reaction time to be able to just sit back, weave a bunch of punches, and pick his shots anymore.
Okay, and I guess a better way I could have said this is that it's not that he's just trying to weave and block punches and be defensively sound, because he should be. It's that he does all this while just standing in the pocket. Like he doesn't move. Like he's got great head movement, but the legs don't move. He's just standing right in front of this dude while he lets him try to throw bombs on him. At some point, it's going to get through. Even though that defense looks he was looking so crispy. So crispy. It's just you've either got to throw back or you've got to move. You can't just stand there for 3 minutes straight. At least, not everyone can. Robbie Lawler at 40 years old doesn't seem like he can.
I love Robbie Lawler.
Yes, bro.
Brian Barberina is a legend, though. Like,
I don't care.
Goes in there,
don't care about Brian.
He goes in there and only produces wars. Like, all of his fights are just nasty wars, and I love it. So, bro, the second round TKO over Robbie, highlight of his career. Do I think that Brian Barberina is ever going to win a UFC championship? No. But do I think I have 5 more years of this awesome shit that's going on? For sure. So I love this fight. Hate the outcome. Kind of not really. But both guys legendary. And I'm moving on. I don't want to talk about that no more. And next fight, Alex Pejera with the first round KO over Sean Strickland. As soon as he landed clean.
Yep.
As soon as he caught him on the chin, it was a wrap. And Sean went to Instagram and basically said his game plan was stupid. He underestimated him. He got caught, and he's going to just have to work his way back up, and he will be back.
Yep.
I think Sean –
you got to love how he takes it.
Sean gave a great synopsis because I was watching that fight and I was like, why the fuck is Sean standing straight up like he about to throw a bunch of jabs and that shit finna work? And then he threw a jab and got punched in the face and I was like, no.
Well, what was also crazy is because Sean Strickland, he kind of has like, especially the way he kind of like throws like weird, not like looping hooks, but it's almost like his elbow kind of shoots out first. You know what I'm saying? Like they're almost like slapping hooks. And like usually like they're real hard and crazy and fast. But I seen him throw a couple against Alex, and I was like, he looks like he just didn't look like Sean. Like he looked a little, I don't know. Definitely didn't look like he should have been standing up with him. Definitely didn't look like he should have been standing right in front of him in that moment.
Definitely not. Definitely not moments after. It definitely didn't look like he should have stood in front of him moments after. He was no longer standing in front of him.
I cannot believe he hit him on the way down, while he threw like a 3-inch punch and snapped his head back on his way down after already punching him in the face with that same arm. He didn't even pull it all the way back, and he hit him again, and it looked like a gunshot.
After his UFC debut, where he flying knee KO'd somebody in like 3 minutes, Joe Rogan literally live was like, "I don't understand. This guy is different. It's like he's made out of fucking mahogany." And I was like,
yep.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there for that fight. I've seen everything. I've seen a lot of things people have said about this guy. And that's why I was like, I'm going to pick him. And then I went, you know what? I don't want to roll with the hype. I've known Sean Strickland, and I've expected him to win almost every fight he's been in. Why would I change? Why would I change for some kickboxer?
For some kickboxer.
God
damn.
He almost took that man's head off his shoulders with 2 strikes.
My man's didn't even leave sweating. My man went home dry.
Ready to fight. He's ready to fight today.
Bro, if Jared Cannonier slipped and fell on his way to the cage, Alex Pejera would have been in the back like, bitch, let me slide. I can do that. I can run that shit right now.
Bro, imagine he wins that one too. That would be the craziest night in all sports.
But he did call out Izzy, and we'll end that because Portuguese or English isn't too great, so he can't really have the most exciting call outs, but he did call out Izzy. As we know, he's 2-0 versus Izzy in kickboxing with the knockout. But MMA is a different game. Next fight, we had Alexander Volkanovski get the UD over Max Holloway. The absolute shit out of Max.
Yeah, I guess he was really proved that shut up. Stop saying this guy's better than me.
He's stronger.
He didn't want to hear it anymore, especially after that second fight. And I did actually just recently rewatch it. I do think Max won, but
I also think Max won the second fight.
But I do think it was close enough to where it's all right. It's all right.
Same.
You know, it's all right. I definitely don't want to see a belt get lost like that.
No.
But I don't mind a belt getting kept like that, which isn't necessarily fair in terms of fighting, but that's just the way I've always thought about fighting in the MMA, whatever.
You got to beat the champion.
Yeah, that's how I always felt. You got to beat him. You can't. I don't like inching past to a title, but that's how it is in every other sport. I don't see why it'd be any different in MMA. I don't know. It's just I guess an older way of watching the UFC and thinking about it. Anyway, this third fight went crazy on him. The dude didn't look like he couldn't really get touched. Granted, I never thought at any point Max Holloway was going down or getting knocked down or anything
definitely
like
not. That. Nah. After the first round, I was like, the only way this is getting stopped is if some bullshit happens where he's like injured or something, or this is going to decision. That's the only two options. Because after that first round, when he just absolutely got blasted with everything and just stood there and smiled at the end of the round, I was like, "Yep, this is going to be 45 minutes. Or this is going to be 25 minutes of this. This is exactly what I'm in for 25 minutes."
Yeah, it was definitely an entertaining fight, but I didn't have much faith for Max for all 5 rounds. He didn't really show much of anything that looked.
Bro, he had
intimidating.
He had his moments, but other than those few moments, Alexander Volkanovski literally was dominating every exchange, every second of that fight. He's the GOAT featherweight. Like he beat Aldo, he beat Max 3 times. Those are the 2 that you bring up in the conversation. So it's like you have to just say that he is the best featherweight of all time now, and he's gonna go up and get. He's going to go up, and he's going to get the title shot at 155. Easy.
Well, just think about it like this. Max was that guy. No one was beating Max. Ever.
And then Volk did.
And then some little pit bull from down under just comes in, and he just starts messing everything up. Just ruins the whole division.
Fuck the whole world up. But yeah, I don't know what Max is going to have to do. I think he's going to take a year off and just think. If he goes to 155, I think he has to build some muscle. But yeah.
Also, maybe we should also throw out that I think Volk was talking about. He wanted to go up, get that second belt, and then he even said, "If I get that one, I want to go up again."
Hey, when he played rugby, he was 210.
Ooh, I did not know that information.
So, if he wanted to go to 170 and fight 6'3" mammoths of men, that's cool. Do that. I think you can do it. I'm like, bro,
power bombing him, bro.
Do that shit, bro. Who you got to fight? Colby Covington or Alexander Volkanovski?
Probably Colby, yeah. Only because I think Volkanovski will seriously hurt me. I think I might be able to get out of a fight with Colby Covington without any serious injuries, you know? I think Volkanovski might seriously like he might like break my jaw off my body. I might not have shoulders by the end of it from getting slammed and
No,
tossed and thrown around.
who would win a fight
Oh,
though
who would
between
win?
those
I thought you
two?
were asking me who I would rather fight. Oh, my
No, who
fault.
would win a fight between those two?
Dude, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't. I mean, I would have to see. I mean, I've never seen Volkanovski that big. I think if they were both the same human being, like the same size, Volkanovski easily, no matter what. Pound for pound, he's better, obviously, I believe.
I think he's possibly he's either one or two right now. Like, if you put him at one, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you put him at two, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you put him at three, we got beef. Like, he's one or two. Like, there's two fighters in this world that are clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. And yeah, we saw one of them beat the shit out of Max Holloway the other day, who's probably my favorite fighter right now in the UFC, which is awesome. And in the main event, we had Israel Adesanya get the unanimous decision over Jared Cannonier. This literally looked like a teeny bit more exciting version of Izzy Romero.
Yep.
And
it was yeah.
That's it. Like Izzy is the Floyd of MMA. Like, he doesn't get hit. Like, when he does get hit, he goes with it.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people being scared to go in there because they know.
Because they know.
Because the last person that tried caught the meanest left.
Of all time.
And kind of sent his career on some sort of a stagger. Really made him question it. So I think after that, everyone's been real scared. Everyone, it really clicked to everybody. Oh, wow, this dude is scary. Like, you just don't want to get touched by him. And I think it's become a problem to where he's now a real good counterpuncher and no one wants to go in.
That's what it is. All right, that was the 276 recap. Just to go over our International Fight Week draft. The teams were Team Mikey, Donald Cerrone, Robbie Lawler, Macy Barber, Sean O'Malley, Sean Strickland, Alexander Volkanovski, Jared Cannonier, Brad Tavares, and Julija Stoliarenko. Team Carlos was Ian Gary, Andre Muniz, Israel Adesanya, Brad Rydell, Jim Miller, Max Holloway, Driscus Duplessis, Jessica Rose Clark, that's an L, and Pedro Munoz. And with the totals, Ian Gary got the win, Andre Muniz got the win, Israel got the win, Jim Miller got a finish, Driscus got the win, Jessica Rose Clark got finished in the first round. So that brought my team total to 15 points. Then you had Sean Strickland getting blasted in the first. That cost you a point. But Macy Barber, Alexander Volkanovski both won, and Julia Stoliarenko got the first round finish. And yeah, for your score to be 10. So in this year's rendition of the International Fight Week draft, I come out on top 15-10. I actually had a lot of fun just keeping up with the scores.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's an International Fight Week thing. I might low-key just bring it back for cards that I'm really excited for. Like, not every single card, but if it's a card where I look at that shit on like a piece of paper or an Instagram post, I'm like, holy shit. We'll probably end up bringing this back out.
Gave every fight a meaning, every single fight.
Hey, I loved every second of every fight, and that never, I don't want to say it never happens, but I was genuinely invested in every single fight.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to take my eyes off the TV. And yeah, I appreciate you. We are wrapping this up. Thank you to my boy Mike. Thank you to everybody out there. Peace, love, happiness to all. And don't forget, fighting is the best remedy for a problem situation. It's the best problem solver. You throw some hands, shake afterwards, and call it a day. Fighting is the shit. And thank you to everybody. Deuces. Peace.